What's up guys, Mr. Fafagus here, and today I'll be going over the grade 9 questions. So it's going to be a new mini series that I create in which you guys can send any questions, A-level, GCSE, but today I'll be going over GCSE Grade 9 questions which you should try yourself and get the same solutions as I did. So here's a question for you to try, have a go. I'll go over my solutions in a sec, so have a pause and have a go yourself. Okay, so the line L is a tangent to the circle x squared plus y squared equals 40 of the point A is 0.26. The line L crosses the x-axis at point P. Work out the area of triangle OOP. So we start off with trying to work out what this the equation of this line is, because this will be because you know that the lines meet at 2, 6. So I use the formula y minus y over x minus x. Which equates to 6 over 2, which gives 3x, and we know that to work out line L would be the negative reciprocal, so we get line L equals minus 1 over 3x plus c, and then I know that we could substitute in 2 into our formula and the 6 to find what c is, to work out our intersect, where line L intersects the y-axis. So we get y equals minus 1/3 x plus 20 over 3. And then I want to work out what x is, so where line L intersects the x-axis. So what I do is that I let y equals 0 and solve for x. So 20 over 3 divided by a third, and you just the KFC for keep flip change, so you cancel these out and you get 20. So we know that line L will somewhere in this line on the x-axis will cross 20. So we know that our little triangle that we're trying to work out OAP will be 20 centimeters long, and we could simplify this further by splitting our triangle up. So what I've done is that I know that this side is 2, this amounts to 2 centimeters, and I know that it's going to be 6 centimeters above because we know that this is all given in the question. So and then I knew that I could work out the hypotenuse of this, which gives you square root of 40, and then what did I do then? I then knew that you could use the numbers that we have already to work out using the formula half AB sine C. So we knew that, and then I used some trigonometry to work out what the tan of this, to work out the angle of this. So we know that, imagine we still have this line here still, and we know this is 2, we could work out tan, and we have 6 as well, so 2 and 6. We can do tan -1 bracket 6 over 2, and then I use the formula half AB times sine tan minus 1 over 6 over 2, and I do half times 20 times 40 times sine the angle that we've worked out, and you should get 60 centimeters square as our as the area for OAP. Here's another question for you guys to try. Have a go, click pause, and I'll go over solutions for it. So this question is slightly difficult in terms of if you can try and comprehend what's going on around here, because there's a lot going on, but we know the length of the rectangle is the same as the length of each triangle of a square, so both sides have 3x plus 4. In some lengths, the lengths are the same, so we know we could name these 3x plus 4, and that the length of the rectangle is 4 centimeters more than 3 times the width of the rectangle. So we know that we could just name this one x, and we know that the area of the square is 66 centimeters square more than the area of the rectangle. So what we could do, guys, is that we set up a little equation here. So to work out the area of our square is 3x plus 4 squares equals 66, because it's more than this, and then plus x 3x plus 4, and then we expand the brackets, and you should get a little quadratic here, 6x squared plus 20x minus 50, and then use the quadratic formula. You could do completing the square, but I use the quadratic formula, and you should get x equals 5 over 3 and x equals 5, but we cross out x equals minus 5 because it's a negative, so we cannot use this, and so we substitute in 5 over 3 into 3x plus 4 and x, so replace all the x's with 5 over 3, and you should get 9, length as your 9, and your width as 5 over 3. This was a viral question that happened in a 2016 paper, I believe, before the new spec, and yeah, have a go yourselves, and I'll go through the solutions. Okay guys, so there are n sweets in a bag, 6 of the sweets are orange, the rest of sweets are yellow. Hannah takes a sweet at random, a sweet from the bag, she eats the sweet. Hannah then takes at random another sweet from the bag, she eats the sweet. Probability that Hannah eats 2 orange sweets is 1/3. Show that n squared minus n minus 90 equals 0. So this is a typical 8 to 9 question that many people struggled in. So what I did was that I knew that I knew how many orange sweets we had, but we did not know the total. Nor did we, and I knew that whatever the yellow sweets are, we know that there's only orange and yellow, so I could just do x. Because yellow is not defined. We do not know how many yellow sweets are there, so we could just take minus 6 over the total, and then we try and draw a little what do you call this, a diagram also to replicate the rounds in which she takes a sweet from the bag. So we know in the first round 6 over n for orange, and yellow it will be x minus 6 over n. And then we know that the total will always be reducing every round she goes out, every time she goes out the sweet. So we know that we have 1 less of the orange, so 5 over n minus 1, and y is x over n minus 1 here. Because again, no yellow sweets would have been taken then, so it was still, you still have the same amount of yellow sweets, in which we do not know. And of course, if we take a yellow one, but we take an orange one, we know that the orange is never changed, but the total changes, and we know that it's x minus 1 because x minus 7, because we knew that more of the sweets would have been taken. So, but we don't need to know about yellow. We're only focusing on orange here, so we can do 6 over n times 5n minus 1 equals 1/3, and then we cross multiply, so that we so basically I multiplied it as if it was normal fractions, so we do 30 and then n times n minus 1, and then we could cross multiply, and 90 equals n minus 1, and then we could just bring along with 90 on the other side, and we get the exact same form as asked in the question. Triangle ACD and is shown below in the diagram below. Have a go at this question. This is a grade 9 question, so I'll go over. It's quite a lot of steps to go through. This is probably about a 5-mark question I expect in an exam if you get a similar type of question like this. Okay guys, so basically this question is was a pretty difficult question. I had a few minutes staring at it, but I had an idea how you do it. So we know that AB equals 3/5, 3 over 5, AE is 2 BE, and 3AD equals 5 AE. So we can literally use Pythagoras here to try and set up a little equation. So we can't make an assumption that this is 45 degrees. Even though we know this is 90, we can't make that assumption. We cannot make this assumption. So what we do is that we know that we just use the side to be given. So 2BE, and we know that because we label this as 2BE because we know that one of these angle BE is twice of 2BE, so we should get a nice little 45 equals 5BE squared when you add these together, and you get 45 divided by 5 because you want to spread it to the other side equals BE squared. b squared equals 9, and then you square root to get b by itself, so you get 3. And then AE, we know that AE is will be actually that should say BE. BE should be 2 times 3, so sorry about that. And we know that 3AD equals 5AE, so we want AD by itself, so again we put a 3 on the other side, and we do 30 times 3, which we know AD is 10. So I knew that these were similar shapes, so I used the numbers that I worked out from doing so this should be x. So we know that these are similar shapes. We work out the scale factor, so 10 divided by 6. This is our scale factor, and then we could if we want to work out the other side, we know that it's 3 square root 5 times 10 over 6 equals 5 over 5, and we know that to work out this bit here, e to d, would be 10 minus 6, because we know this is 6, and the whole side here is 10, and we know that these sides, we only need these sides to work out, because we could just use HA plus B divided by 2 to work out the quadrilateral, the area of the quadrilateral. So we substitute in our values, and you should get 16 as your answer for the area. Final question here. It's not really I'd get probably grade 8 question, I'd say. Grade 8, because it does require some knowledge and surds and stuff like that. So I'd square it first. So we get 5 minus 12 root 5 plus 36. Square that, so we get, so collected like terms, 36 5 minus 12 5, and then we multiply that by 5 square root 5 minus 6 to make it into a cubed. So we should get 41 5 minus 16 minus 246 plus 72 root 5, and then we collect like terms, and then we make sure that we get the exact same as asked for, minus 306 plus 113 over root 5. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this grade 9 question video series. Leave any comments, submit your questions in the comment section. I'll probably find answers for them, and I'll do videos on them, so you guys get your grade 9s, and some A-level questions could also be useful. Perhaps I could throw a few of them into the grade 9 questions, because they could be beneficial for those doing GCSE. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and like, and peace out guys.